Good morning, guys. Happy Saturday. So, I figure after all the craziness yesterday and about 10 hours worth of sitting in front of the computer with all the stories yesterday, y'all needed a break from the news. I need a break from the news, and a lot of you guys asked for some good news. I want to just talk about something that is my forte, prepper oriented, and hopefully help you guys a lot this morning. What I want to talk about, and here as it is, middle of January, and half the country is about ready to get hit with storms, whether snowstorms or rainstorms, or like me in the middle of both and supposed to get ice. This is a real strange time to talk about it, but start thinking about summer. Start thinking about a garden plan, okay? And I know you guys are like, oh crap, another gardening video. But the reason I do this is because, as a lot of you sent me pictures here in the last week, the stores look pretty slim, okay? And somehow you're going to have to come up with food because, like I've said to you a million times, I don't care if you've got a year's worth of food. What are you going to eat on day 366, okay? You've got to come up with some way to feed yourself and feed your family. And inevitably, and I'm telling you this right now, guys, you're going to wind up feeding a lot of other people that you're not planning on right now. And as much as we all like to say, we're not letting anybody do it, unless you plan on posting a guard on your garden 24/7, you're going to be feeding other people, let alone the wildlife. Okay. So, what I wanted to go over today were probably, in my opinion at least, the 10 vegetables that everybody should grow. And the reason I say this is because if you grow these, you will have a consistent flow of food for 12 months because some of these are very good, very storable. All right. Obviously, with snow and everything coming, you can't grow right now. So you need to be eating stored vegetables. And so stuff that's easy to store. All right, so I'm just going to go through these alphabetically. The advantage to this is even if you have small spaces, you can grow everything on this list in pots, grow bags, whatever you need. So, I mean, even if it's a point where you live in an apartment and you've got a little balcony, you can get some grow bags, some 5-gallon buckets, whatever it is, and grow some of this stuff on the side. You live in the suburbs or whatever it is, put it in a 5-gallon bucket. You don't have a garden, okay? It's in buckets, so technically you didn't make a garden, right? You figure out your HOA laws. I don't want to deal with those, but okay, stuff that you can do. So let's start with the very first one. Beans. We're preppers. Grow beans, okay? There are thousands of different kinds of beans. Green beans, wax beans, red beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, black beans, pole beans, bush beans, runner beans, whatever. If you're growing in a small space, I would suggest bush beans, okay? You don't need to climb something, all right? Beans are also something that can be done with the three sisters, your beans, your corn, your squash. You can plant them all in the same place. But plant beans. Pick the kind of beans you like. Pick something that's going to be prolific. Obviously, for everything here, you want to grow something that is going to get you a high yield. You're not worried about fancy. You're worried about high yield for prepping, okay? So beans, number one. Second one, beets. Yes, I know there's a lot of people that don't like beets. Okay, but I'm going to give you this as a point. Not only can you eat the beet, the leaves are also edible. So while it's growing, you have something that you can eat. Once it's matured, you have something that you can eat. So it gives you a longer harvest, if you will, more food. So you have two things. Plus, if you have livestock, chickens, or anything like that, beets are very good to feed both of those as well. Okay. Cabbage. Now, The advantage to cabbage, and y'all know yesterday I was planting my seedlings, not outside yet. Cabbage is something that you plant very early, okay? Cabbage can handle cold weather, hard frost, everything like that. And you can usually get two crops out of cabbage a year. One head of cabbage is very good for feeding a family. I mean, think of your corned beef and cabbage. You get maybe a quarter of a piece of cabbage with your corned beef, okay? So very, very nutritious, very filling. Number 4, carrots. Believe it or not, guys, carrots are the most popular vegetable worldwide, okay? Why? Because they pretty much grow everywhere. They're pretty easy to grow. No problem growing these in buckets or anything like that in very small spaces. You get 1 carrot per plant, sure, but you can get probably 6, 7 plants in a 5-gallon bucket, no problem. So you can grow carrots, and they store well. Okay, you can store carrots all winter in, my DIY root cellar or something like that. You know as well as I do, carrots will keep in the fridge. It seems like forever. Can them, cook them, eat them raw, do whatever. Carrots are very versatile, so definitely something worth planting. Okay. Cucumbers. Cucumbers are a very prolific plant. The advantage to growing cucumbers is cucumbers are 96% water, guys. Okay. So all the talk we have all the time about storing water. Sure, you aren't going to wash your clothes, wash your dishes, or something like that in cucumbers. But if you need hydration, you need something to drink, eat a cucumber. Okay? A cucumber will literally save your life, guys. So cucumbers, very easy to grow. Multiple different kinds, English cucumbers, Japanese, Armenian, your regular round 8-inch cucumbers, pickles, whatever would be. And again, you can eat them raw, you can pickle them, you can brine them, there's ferment them. There's a whole bunch of ways to store a cucumber. So, something that is highly needed to plant, okay? Peas, okay? Snap peas, snow peas, whatever would be. Advantage to peas, it's a very early season crop, okay? You'll be planting peas here in the next 8 weeks or something like that, and you'll be harvesting them in the next 16, okay? Peas grow very quickly and very early, so they will be one of the first crops that you're harvesting in the spring. So, a lot of your meals are going to be pea-based in the beginning of the year. Before some of your crops are even going in, you're already harvesting peas. So definitely something to get. Potatoes. Okay. Potatoes are the next 2, I guess, if you will. Potatoes and sweet potatoes, even though they're not related whatsoever. Okay. If it wasn't for potatoes and sweet potatoes, humanity would not exist. Okay. Those 2 have basically fed the world since the dawn of time, and it is a complex, both of them are complex starches. Sweet potatoes are a superfood, okay? Antioxidants, vitamins, everything like that you need. Both of them take a little bit more space, but both of them, again, can be grown in pots. And you can get a decent yield out of small spaces. Plant a potato in a 5-gallon bucket. You'll probably get 3 or 4 or 5 pounds of potatoes out of your efforts. Okay, 3, 4, 5 pounds of potatoes. That's at least a week's worth of food there. All right. Potatoes are going to be something that you're going to plant late spring. They are going to harvest late summer. But again, potatoes are something that stores well, so you are going to be eating these over the winter. Sweet potatoes and potatoes grow as much as you can, as the space you have for them. Those are crucial foods to have. Tomatoes. Tomatoes are something, again, very prolific grower, high in vitamin C, high in a lot of vitamins that you're going to need. Tomatoes, again, water, just like cucumbers, very versatile, but high in the vitamins that you're not going to get in most other vegetables. Yes, I know tomatoes are fruit. Okay, but this is why. All right. Everything else that you're growing here, tomatoes is a good supplement. Last one, zucchini. All right. Zucchini is probably the easiest, most prolific thing you're going to get. Plant 3 zucchini plants, you will get a boatload of zucchini. All right. And I mean, you get monster zucchinis too, but you can use it in stews, in soups, make breads. I mean, I made pickles out of it. I did the zucchini pineapple. I had so much zucchini last year. I was trying to figure out how to grow or how to save some of it, save it in as many different ways as I can. Okay. But those are 10 things to grow that will give you a staggered harvest throughout about 8 months. And then, like I said, some of this will store well, so you will have something to eat those other 4 months. Gardening's work, a lot of work, okay? But your other option is starvation. Personally, I'd rather do the work than starve. Enjoy your Saturday. I bet you know what I'm doing today. Have a good one. Pinball out.